We're going to start with Haley Robson, okay? Haley Robson, this is very important, guys. She is one of the Epstein survivors, and she's a very important survivor right here, okay? Now, Haley Robson, okay, just so you know, Haley Robson was one of the first girls that really cracked open the Palm Beach case, okay? Okay? I mean, the origins of the Epstein case, again, it started with the stepmother of a girl who got in trouble at school, and the school found $300, and the mom got suspicious. And then the mom started like listening in on conversations, and she overheard her daughter talking about like massaging some rich guy. And then that stepmom went to the cops, and then the cops started investigating, and they started finding some girls who had gone to Epstein's house and given him massages for like $300. And they were all 14-year-old, 15-year-old girls. Then they found Haley, and Haley like cracked this shit open. You know why? Because Haley told them that, well, to save myself, I became a recruiter. Okay, so that's what was really epic about Haley, is she kind of unveiled for the police the way this like pyramid scheme worked. That a girl would come in, she would get raped and abused by Epstein, she would get paid, but eventually, in order for her to no longer get abused, she had to become a recruiter. Okay, becoming a recruiter got you out of being abused. So then all the girls would start saving themselves by going and recruiting other girls. And it's super toxic, because when you think about like what that would do to a teenage girl, because on the one hand, she is just doing what she needs to do to not get raped by this fucking smarmy old man. But now she's carrying around the added shame of putting all these other girls in harm's way, which is probably engaging her in a way that makes her continue doing that behavior, right? She continues doing the shit, feeling ashamed, doing the shit, feeling ashamed. And so, like, he was building his abuse ring on circularly abusing like hundreds of girls. It is so diabolical to think that not only is he harming girls, but he is like dragging them into a situation where they are self-harming in the process of helping him carry out his abuse. It is like one of the most diabolical and just humanity destroying pyramid schemes of trauma that I think I have ever seen in my life, you know? Unbelievable. And the fact that our fucking president like knew about this shit and was in on this shit and may have tossed, you know, a baby overboard, and like even all these other allegations of 𝗙ecie is like, it is alarming, man. Okay. And it's not even something I'm surprised by with the daily toxicity that comes from Donald Trump. Just brutal. Now, even after they were away from Jeffrey, they were living out a cycle of like continued self-harm. And I bring that up because Haley, she's a Republican. Okay, Haley Robson is. And somehow along the way, she decided to put her faith in Donald Trump. I mean, these girls have watched this case disappear. They've watched Alex Acosta give everyone immunity. Everything went dark. Virginia Giuffre sues. Julie K. Brown, the Miami Herald, opens it up again. Epstein finally gets arrested. Then he ends up dead. Everything's over, right? They go through the Ghislaine Maxwell trial. She's in jail. But like, they never really got justice. And then Trump comes in. And he comes in and he like white knights him. Okay? This guy who had been lying about the election and J6 and all this, he comes in like this white knight of like, I am going to release this shit. I am going to finally bring this out. I'm going to do what nobody wanted to do. I'm going to put it all out there. I'm going to get to the truth for you guys. If you elect me, I'm going to do it. And then so some of these women, they voted for Donald Trump and they believed it, right? They decided to believe in him. They decided to trust him. And then he fucked them. Okay. He got in there. He put all of the conspiracy theorists about the Epstein files in charge, 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗀, Dan Bongino, and then they hid it. They shelved it. They buried it. They said it was a hoax. They said they were making it up. Are you still talking about Epstein? I mean, he literally turned on them so hard. Like it's like another Epstein essay. Literally. That's what it had to feel like to these women who decided to believe in him and trust him against all odds. I mean, now we look at it in hindsight and we know they're just being re-traumatized. But like, they put their lives on the line with the death threats. They don't have Secret Service protection. They don't have anyone looking out for them, okay? And he screwed them all. He screwed them all. He like re-traumatized them, re-abused them in public, just repeatedly. The hoax thing is like so brutal. But anyway, now Haley is fucking pissed, dude. She is pissed. She is like now getting vocal and being like, man, I'm fucking done with this. And guys, she's not alone. Okay, she is not alone, but I think like we need to hear her roar.
I am no longer supporting this administration. I redact any support I've ever given to him, Pam Bondi, 𝗙cie𝗶𝗆𝗆. I am so disgusted with this administration. I think that Pam Bondi and 𝗙cie𝗶𝗆𝗆 both need to resign, and I would love to see number 47 get impeached over this.
All right, there we go. Now, I'm not going to mute her now that she's come to terms and wants to shout it from the rooftops. Okay, I'm like, I want to help elevate her voice. Okay, because I mean, the survivors are not going to do it perfect, guys. They're not. It's really hard coming back from this shit. It's going to be a lifetime of them sorting this shit out. Dude, again, I don't want to beat a dead horse with this, but we know that there has to be something so devastating in those files, guys. There has to be, because literally Dan Bongino and 𝗙cie𝗶𝗆𝗆 were the two biggest Epstein release voices in all of right-wing media. These guys, their entire careers were like, we need to release this shit. The FBI has the power to release this. It is because of the FBI leadership. And then boom, they ended up being FBI leadership. And then Pam Bondi, the binders, the Fox News appearances, were releasing it. The list is on my desk. We're doing this. He had all of the infrastructure involved in this. And then they started going through the files and redacting and looking for Trump's name. And then whatever they found, when 1,000 agents went and decided to look for Trump's name, whatever they found, they all turned tail. Immediately, they turned tail. They started doing a PR campaigns of this shit doesn't exist. There's no evidence on anyone. We're closing the case. Dan Bongino got in a fight with Pam Bondi, was like threatening to quit. And that tells you something went down, that Bongino was not comfortable with like whatever charade he had to pretend about. And now he's stepping down. And they ended up having this whole discharge petition, and Mike Johnson kept the House adjourned for like 284 days. So something in there caused guys who made their entire career about releasing this shit. Something in there made these guys stop wanting to release it, stop even talking about it. They won't even answer questions in a Senate hearing, okay? So something about this is just absolutely, like, catastrophic. And now we got to find that. We got to get that. That's what we need to do. That's where we need to go, guys. I feel like we're not letting this go until, like, at least the members of Congress get everything unredacted. We need an unredacted release of this information to leaders of both political parties, period.